brothers and sisters of Baha'i community, other citizens concerned with human rights and international justice, colleagues and friends. I'm aware that many of the countries have problems, tension, social unrest resulting in violence. All can be linked with communal, ethnic, religious thoughts. But I do believe that the governments and the state have to have measures to have law and order. But I cannot understand a country thinking of order without law. Any attempt to impose order on people, on the public institutions, on the judiciary, without any respect for international jurisprudence is something which needs to be strongly criticized. And we find that there are countries, I mean, certainly what's happening in Iran is very obvious case of not following law and trying to have an order which is not acceptable. I do believe that it is the responsibility of all enlightened citizens of the world to raise our voices, to tell that this government is not following the international law of justice. They're having total disregard for the global opinion of what is right and what is wrong. And I'm so happy today that our concerned friends in Delhi and other places have come together to show our solidarity and show strong protest against what is happening. I totally agree that 5 years is too much, and there has to be a global voice, and we would like to strengthen that as much as possible. Let us raise our voice for Yaran, our friends in Iran.
I just wanted to start with a salam and a salute to all the 7 Baha'i leaders in prison. It's extremely important at this moment to really look at the entire issue of the 7 Baha'i leaders behind bars in Iran as a very crucial human rights violation. And I think that's where I'm coming from. And it's important for us to remember it today, to get together and express our solidarity with all these prisoners of conscience. So I do think that we will continue to struggle for human rights, which are universal and non-negotiable. And let me just end once again by expressing our deep solidarity, and I hope human rights movement in this country would make a call to the government of India, as Milun has said, in a far more demonstrable way to come out very clearly against human rights violations against the Baha'is in Iraq. Thank you.
Dear friends on the dais and off the dais, first of all, let me congratulate Baha'is community for standing for this cause. Before Soli leaves, I wish to say that Soli said it all with his inherent brilliance, that the test of any country or any state is the way they treat the minority. I think Martin Luther King said this beautifully. And he says that injustice anywhere is threat to justice everywhere. This cause, I feel we should all stand strong. And my suggestion is that we can go to the ambassador of Iran here in India with a joint appeal and say that these 7 Baha'is, the 2 incidents which Mr. Sorabji cited here about the persecution there, that the person was not allowed to even attend the funeral of his wife. You see, that is what I remember Martin Luther King, that if you lead this, if you do this injustice, this would lead to injustice. Not only in one community, every community.
It really pains me when I say something, you know, about this languishing of our brothers in the Iran. You know, I remember this, how the Jews were persecuted and, you know, anti-Semitism they faced throughout the world. And what happened? 6 million Jews were killed in Holocaust. And that time we used to say, no one came forward to save the Jews. Similarly now, if we will not save our brothers who will come us to save us? So we must think of those 3 lakhs Baha'is in Iran. So we must do something and impress upon the minds, especially Government of India, not signing simply the joint declaration. Come forward, all the religious, spiritual leaders, every person from all walks of life, come together. So this is what I want to say. Shalom, and may God give them strength and courage, especially those 3 lakhs Baha'i brothers, to overcome this difficulty, calamities. And I am sure the one day, the day is not very far, that our brothers will be freed from the imprisonment, and impress upon the Government of India, please do something to save these brothers, because they are our brothers. So it is the right time. Immediately we must come into action and impress upon the UN body, International Human Rights Forum, as well as the Iranian government. Please release them.
I feel really pained to know when I hear that people who are so peaceful are really being persecuted in other places. Human beings are not supposed to be fighting with each other. We all have the same kind of genes. We are brothers and sisters, and we should love each other. And today the world is bereft of love. It's that ingredient, love, which is not there, which makes you treat people who are from a different faith or a different tradition with cruelty, which is really very, very disturbing. If this is how we go within this world, the world will soon come to an end, because this hatred is going to kill us all and there will be no peace. If we want peace on earth, if we want peace among ourselves, if we want a loving relationship, if we want development of any kind, the first thing is that we should treat other human beings of whatever faith with dignity and with love. This kind of persecution or ill-treating is very sad, because so many human beings are suffering today because of this. I urge everyone, especially those who are seeing this and others and the governments of the world, to come together to say that those 7 leaders who are being persecuted should really be released and should not be tortured like that.
14th May is the 5th anniversary of the imprisonment of 7 Baha'i leaders. Iran has always prided itself in its tradition of democracy and freedom. Continuous persecution of the Baha'is is inimical to this tradition. There is surging consciousness among millions of Iranians that Baha'is have the rights and entitlement to their faith as does any other religious group. Protection of the rights and liberties of minorities is the international covenant which binds Iran as it does all other state parties. Iran should free these 7 women and men in the true spirit of universal human rights.
दुनिया में जितने भी मज़ाहिब हैं, हर मज़हब की बुनियादी ये तालीम है कि हर दूसरे मज़हब की इज़्ज़त और एहतराम करें। उसी तरीक़े से मज़हब इस्लाम में भी तमाम इस्लाम के मानने वालों को ये हुक्म दिया गया है कि आप अपने मज़हब पर अमल करते हुए तमाम मज़ाहिब के लोगों की, उनकी भावनाओं की, उनके ख़यालात की, उसी के साथ साथ उनके जो मज़हबी पेशवा हैं उनका भी इज़्ज़त और एहतराम करना लाजमी है। लेकिन अफसोस की बात यह है कि ईरान में जिस तरीक़े से बहाई के लोगों पर जुल्म और ज़्यादती के पहाड़ ढाए जा रहे हैं, वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अफसोसनाक है, काबिल मज़म्मत है, और इसकी हम लोग स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पॉसिबल वर्ड्स में उसको कंडेम करते हैं, क्योंकि ये एक इंटरनेशनल लॉ है कि हर मुल्क में हर इंसान को अपने मज़हब पर अमल करते हुए, चाहे एजुकेशन हो या हेल्थ हो या एम्प्लॉयमेंट हो, ये उसका फंडामेंटल राइट है। और दुनिया की कोई भी हुकूमत, कोई भी गवर्नमेंट अपने शहरियों को इन इख्तियारात को और इन फंडामेंटल राइट्स को हासिल करने से कानूनन रोक नहीं सकती। इसलिए चाहे यूनाइटेड नेशंस की मुख्तलिफ़ रिपोर्ट्स हों, एमनेस्टी इंटरनेशनल की रिपोर्ट हो, सबसे ये बात ज़ाहिर हुई है और हम लोगों के इल्म में आई है कि ईरान में बहाइयों पर बहुत ज़्यादा जुल्म और सितम ढाया जा रहा है, उनको अपने बुनियादी और फंडामेंटल राइट्स को हासिल करने से रोका जा रहा है, उनको एजुकेशन है, हेल्थ है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट है, उस पर भी पूरी तरीके से हासिल करने का उनको इख्तियार नहीं दिया जा रहा। और हद ये है कि सैकड़ों की तादाद में बहाइयों को अरेस्ट करके जेल में डाल दिया गया है और वहाँ पर भी उनके साथ ह्यूमन राइट्स वायलेशन हो रहे हैं। इसलिए हम अपने मुल्क हिंदुस्तान से इस बात की पुरजोर अपील करते हैं कि ईरान के सामने ये मुद्दा उठाएं और ईरानी गवर्नमेंट पर ये ज़ोर दें कि वहाँ पर जिन बहाइयों को जेलों में डाल दिया गया है उनको रिहा किया जाए और उनका जो बेसिक और फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं वो उनको दिए जाएं, जिससे कि वो भी एक पुरअमन तौर पर अपनी ज़िंदगी गुजार सकें।